class intervals into exclusive by writing the boundaries, and boundaries are said to be new class limit, original actual class limits. These are the class limits, lower limit, upper limit. So lower limit, upper limits and boundaries of the inclusive class intervals are different. Okay. Coming to this one, lower boundary, what will get? 0 plus 0 by 2, 0 for first one. And 5 plus 5, 10 by 2. 10 by 2 is nothing but 5 only. Here also 10 plus 10, 20. 20 by 2 is nothing but, here you will get 5. Okay. And 10 plus 10, 20. 20 by 2 is a 10 only. And coming to this one, for 10, 10 plus 10, 20, 20 by 2 is nothing but 10. And 15 plus 15, 30, 30 by 2 is 15. So same we are getting. When they are given exclusive class intervals, upper limits and boundaries are equal. If they are given inclusive class intervals, we will convert them into exclusive by writing the boundaries of the class limits. Okay. Now coming to the next range. Range is nothing but highest observation minus lowest observation. So here highest observation is 25 and lowest observation is 1. So 25 minus 1 is 24 is the range of this data. And next, class length is denoted by C, and small l also we can use. So class length is the difference between upper boundary and lower boundary for any class interval. So just take this one, 5.5 minus 0.5, 5 will get. 10.5 minus 5.5, 5. 15.5 minus 10.5. Difference between upper boundary and lower boundary of any class is class length. Difference between maximum observation and minimum observation is range. So don't confuse these two. Next, class mark. Class mark is denoted by small x. Class marks is nothing but mid value. So it is different for different class intervals. Why? Because it is the average of upper limit and lower limit of that class. 1 plus 5, 6 by 2. 6 by 2 is nothing but 3. 3 is the mid value of this one. Like that, okay? Class value, class mark. Class length, class mark. And class limits, class boundaries. That's all. Okay, these are the different topics. Now we will see the definitions for this. And if the given data is represented through a frequency, if we are representing any group data by using a table which is consisting frequency is nothing but count of objects in the form of tally marks. Such type of table is said to be frequency distribution table, otherwise simply frequency distribution. Okay. Now take the definitions for these terms. Representation of data with frequencies. So that may be data also two types, that is primary data and secondary data. So with the primary data is whatever given data. For that means if data is a simple one, we are directly using to represent it in the frequency distribution table using the tally marks. If it is larger data, In that case, we are classifying into grouped one. So that is comes under secondary data. So representation of such type of data with frequencies. Frequencies is nothing but count of that object. Count, we will, to represent that count, we are using tally marks like this. Yes. So representation of data with frequencies is known as frequency distribution, otherwise a distribution table. Frequency distribution or distribution table. And second point, class intervals. If the data is divided into small groups, these groups are said to be class intervals. Limits of the class interval. For suppose in a class interval 5 to 10, in a class interval 5 to 10, 5 is called, that is initial value. Initial value, that is 5, is called lower limit of the class. Lower limit and ending value, that is 10, is called upper limit of the class. Class intervals like 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and so on, are called inclusive class intervals. Inclusive class intervals. Why? Because here particular observation belongs to that class interval only. It does not consider into another class interval. And coming to the next, class intervals like 1 to 10, 10 to 20, sorry, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and so on, are called exclusive class intervals. And here 10 upper boundary we will not consider into that class interval. Means 0 to 10 means 0 to 9 values only comes under the first class interval. Coming to 10 to 20, 10 belongs to second class interval because it is the lower limit. Upper limit 20 will not consider. This is considered into the third class interval. Okay. Now coming to the boundaries. Boundaries as well as class length and mid value or class mark. upper boundary of the class. The average of upper limit of a class and lower limit of the next class. Lower limit of successive class. Successive is nothing but next class. Successive class is known as upper boundary of that particular class. Okay, upper boundary of that class means, for example, I have 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, like this. See, for suppose now I am using this one. I want to write the upper boundary and lower boundary of this class. Upper boundary means I need to select the upper limit class, that is 10. So I am writing upper boundary at this point. Okay, upper boundary and lower limit of the successive class, next class. Lower limit of the next class is 11. So average of those two values, average of upper limit of that class, and lower limit of successive class, lower limit of next class is known as upper boundary. Okay, so that is 21 by 2. 21 by 2 is nothing but 20.5. That's what. Ten 10.5, sorry. 10.5. So just 0.5 extra will get for upper boundaries, and for lower boundaries we will get less 0.5 less, whatever value is there we need to subtract the 0.5. That's all. Okay, and this is upper boundary. Now if I want to write lower boundary of this class only, for that sake I need to take lower limit of that particular class, and previous class upper limit I must consider, that is 5. 6 plus 5 by 2, average of lower limit of that class and upper limit of the previous class is known as lower boundary of that particular class. Now 6 plus 5, 11 by 2. 11 by 2 is nothing but 5.5. So that's what I told you. Remove 0.5 to get the lower boundaries, add 0.5 to get the upper boundaries. So for this class, lower boundary is 5.5 and upper boundary is 10.5. Okay. Now lower boundary of the class. Class interval or class, no problem. The average of lower limit of a class, and upper limit of the previous class, that is preceding class. Upper limit of preceding class is known as upper boundary of that class. Sorry, lower boundary of that class. And next, difference between upper boundary and lower boundary of a class is called length of the class, or class length is called length of the class, and it is denoted by C. And class mark or mid value is denoted by X. The average of upper and lower boundaries of the class. The average of upper and lower boundaries of a class is called class mark, is called as class mark or mid value. Okay, and it is denoted by X of that particular class. Now coming to the example problems depending on these topics. Here one question is given like this. Long jump made by 30 students of a class. 30 students of a class are tabulated as distance given in centimeters, and next number of students. One not 1 to 200 centimeters. 4 students were jumped, and 201 to 300. 7 students are there. 301 to 400. 15. 401 to 500. 3. And here 1. 501 to 600. So totally 30 students are given. 4 plus 7, 11, 11 plus 15, 26, 26 plus 4 is 30. Then first one are the given class intervals inclusive or exclusive. Inclusive or exclusive. And second, how many students are in second class interval? How many students are in second class interval? And next, how many students jumped a distance of? How many students jumped a distance of 3.01 meters or more? Okay, let us finish these 3 problems. Afterwards, we will see the remaining. Observe here, are the given class intervals inclusive or exclusive? So we know that in inclusive class intervals, upper boundary, lower boundary of particular class is different. Sorry, upper limit, lower limit. And exclusive, upper limit of the first class and lower limit of the next class both are equal. Observe here, it is the grouped data. Class intervals they are given, that's why. 101 to 200 centimeters is one class interval. 201 to 300. So here numbers are different. See, upper limit and lower limit are different. So these are comes under inclusive class intervals. So given class intervals are inclusive class intervals. Given class intervals are inclusive class intervals. Next, how many students are in second class interval? Second class interval is this one, 201 to 300 centimeters. It is given in centimeters, okay? How many students are there? 7. So 7 students are there in second class interval. So 7 students are there in second class interval. So we need to write in complete sentence. Next, how many students jumped a distance of 3.01 meters or more? 3.01 meters is nothing but here centimeters given. So in convert into meters. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 100 meters. That means 101 by 100 means 1.01 to 2 meters. 2.01 to 3 meters, 3.01 to 4 meters, 3.01 to more they are asking, or more means here onwards, 301 to 400 centimeters, 401 to 500, 501 to 600. These students are exactly jumping from 3.01 to 4. More they are asking. So 3.01 also included here. That means 15 students are there and more than still 600 they have mentioned means 6 meters. So 15 plus 3, 18, 18 plus 1, 19. So total 19 students are jumping the distance 3.01 meters or more. 15 plus 3 plus 1 which is equal to 19 students jumped a distance of 3.01 meters or more. Next, fourth question is given like this. To which class interval does the student who jumped a distance of 4.005 meters belongs? And next, calculate the boundaries of the class intervals in the above table. Calculate boundaries of the class intervals in the above class, in the above table. Okay. Then next, last question. What is the length of the each class interval they are asking? Okay. Now coming to this question. To which class interval does the student who jumped a distance of 4.005 meters belong? 400, that means 4 meters, 15 students are there. This is the third class, which is carrying the students from 3.01 meters to 4 meters only. But 4.005 is more than 4. And coming to this one, here also 4.1 we have, means that is lesser than 4.1. 4.005 is more than 4 meters and lesser than 4.01. 4.005 is lying between 4 meters and 4.01 meters, means here that value is not represented, so we can't able to decide it belongs to which class interval. For that sake, we need to convert them into, we need to take, in case of inclusive classes, instead of class limits, the class boundaries we must take. Then we can able to decide he belongs to which group. Okay, so that's why they are given next question, calculate the boundaries. We will see what is the boundary of first class interval. 101 to 200 meters given. So we know that upper boundary, lower boundary is nothing but the previous value we must take. So how much previous value we don't know. 100 and 101. So 100, 201 by 2 will get, that is nothing but 100.5. 2, it is more than 0.5 will get 200.5. Next, class interval given 201 and 300. So for this we have the boundaries. This one will get 200.5 and it is 300.5. Next, 300.5, 400.5. Next, 400.5, 500.5. Next, 500.5, 600.5. So how many class intervals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are the boundaries of the class. Now just observe 4.005 meters. 4.005 meters is nothing but how many centimeters? 400.5 centimeters. So all these are given in centimeters. Now 400.5 centimeters is there here and here. So exclusive classes, only lower boundary we need to take into consideration. So it is divided into, it is considered into fourth class interval, means he belongs to fourth class interval, fourth class interval. Okay, if you are directly checking, then we can't able to decide if we are getting like this. For that sake, we are converting the inclusive classes to exclusive class intervals by taking the boundaries of that class. Then we can able to decide he belongs to which group. And what is the class length? That is the sixth question. So class length is nothing but difference between upper boundary minus lower boundary of any class. You will get the same value. That is 200.5 minus 100.5. For first class only I am taking, that is nothing but 100.0, that is 100. Class length is 100. Okay. Okay, just listen. Till now we have finished mean, mode and median. So mean is nothing but sum of observations by number of observations. And different formulas also I have given. So whatever mean they are giving, whatever observations they are given, find out sum of those observations by how many observations are there. Whether they may be numbers or any expressions or whatever. Okay. And next, if any numbers are deleted or added, then sum also will change as well as numbers also will change. If suppose two numbers are deleted, in that case sum also deleted by those many values. For suppose we have 40 and 50, these are two observations, And for suppose sum of the observations previously we got 500 for suppose. Then new sum will be these two observations were deleted. So new sum, it is actually for all the observations. For suppose all observations are 5. So 5 observations sum I got 500. 2 observations were deleted. Then number of observations also changed as 5 minus 2, which is nothing but 3. And sum of the observations also will be changed as 500 minus 40 plus 50, that is 90, which is nothing but 410. So new mean will be equal to x dash bar equal to new sum 410 by number of observations, new observations. Like this we'll get. Okay, if deleted or added, then sum also will change, number of observations also will change. So mean is depends exactly on the entire data, and there are measures of central tendency are 3. Those are mean, median, and mode. So median also will be depending upon the number of observations, not value on the observation. So whenever you are writing median, first convert them into ascending or descending orders, and if number of observations are odd, then exactly one mid value we will get, that is n plus 1 by 2 the term we will get as the median. And if number of observations are even, then two values we will get in the middle. Average of those two terms we must take to consider the median. And mode, that is does not depends on number of observations as well as value of the observation, which is coming more frequently times, means what is the count of frequency for each observation find, which is having more frequency, that will be the mode of the data. Okay, these three are the central measurement of central tendency. And the remaining graphical representations we will see in the next class.